I think one of the great mistakes so many people that follow me and think they've got my message down make is they make content for their self-interest, not for their audience. They don't understand that by making content for their audience, there's a very good chance over a decade period of time, their self-interest will come through. The amount of people that I see give me love, DM me, say these nice things to me, they're about me, this and that, and when I spend 5 minutes analyzing their social media execution, it's very disheartening for me because they're picking and choosing what they hear from me. To do what I do and what I see others do that is successful, whether it's a person, a brand, a business, you have to do all parts of it. People love to see the part of tenacity, but they struggle a little bit more with patience. People love to think that they're giving, but they struggle to see that they're giving with manipulation and with intent of something for themselves, which is the furthest thing from giving in the world. One of the crazy things that's become obvious to me in the last decade is the reason I give away everything I've got is because I don't think if you then go take it and do well, that comes out of my pocket. I'm fascinated by how many people hold things back because they don't think or realize that the world is fundamentally abundant. Everyone is so scared that if they give away their best advice or their best content, that somebody's going to take that and run with it. But what I promise you is, as we all sit here today without knowing exactly what Santino or Ben or whoever has in mind of what they want to do, whether you're in B2B or B2C, whether you're in real estate or crypto, content, have your own agency, sell sneakers, it's very easy for me to talk to this room because there are certain things that no matter what you are, even if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're a stay-at-home parent, if you are a teacher, if you are running for political office, there are things that are incredibly consistent about the human race. I was an atrocious student, but the one class I was consistently strong at was history. And I never really understood why until I got into this last decade of my life when I started understanding myself better on how I roll. And it's because history just tells me the future. We're consistent. We're animals. We are who we are. And we only navigate through one framework, our actual perspective on life. Every single person here is navigating every single day predicated on how they see it. How they see it is predicated on how they grew up, their environment, their DNA, their parenting. But most interesting to me, what they are currently listening to. Or whom. The thing that's really interesting to me is if you turn your head to the left, you see it different than if you turn your head to the right. I think the world is about communication. Period. I think there's nothing else. I think the world is based on communication. It's how everybody does everything. Communication is why this world is religion-based. The printing press is invented, a new form of communication, books. The disproportionate leader of printing books in the first 2 decades of the printing press were religious institutions. And here we are hundreds of years later, and our society is framed on it. In a much more small way, Google AdWords come out in 2000. The #1 advertiser on that platform for the first 5 years is Amazon. And it is the foundation of why they're one of the biggest companies in the world, besides the talent of the executives. For me, life is crazy simple, and I'm desperately trying to get this room to make it crazy simple. Here's what it is. It is based on the opportunity to communicate so that you can achieve what will make you happy. And it's predicated on what you are trying to accomplish based on who you actually are. After that, everything becomes incredibly secondary. After that level of self-awareness and understanding of how the world operates, you can decide what you want to do. You can then focus on your passion, trying to maximize your dollars, or whatever else tickles your fancy. The problem is the simplicity of the framework is something people struggle with tremendously. As many of you probably know, the other thing that drives me today is I think that negativity is dramatically louder than positivity. I believe if you analyze the world, social media, mainstream media, your household, negativity is loud. Positivity tends to be quiet because it's got internal strength to deal with the negativity, and it doesn't bother itself with the negativity. Because of that, we have a world that is louder about bad and quieter about good. When this became obvious to me 7, 9, 5 years ago, I felt an incredible energy of conviction and really, just honestly, accountability. I felt like I had to get loud about the truth of the world. And here's the truth. The world is better today than it's ever been in the history of mankind. Yet, so few people believe it. These are the things that are running through my mind. These are the frameworks that I think about so much. This is where I'm at this point of my career. I don't understand how people don't realize that kindness is the single strongest foundation to building a huge business. I believe that kindness is an alpha killer business trait, not some nice additive to the way the world is today. Here's why. It's sustainable. The world is abundant. Nobody on earth is taking your money or your happiness. My biggest concern is that I know there's a lot of people here who consume my content, leave comments, DM me, engage. They talk my talk, but they don't live my talk. I know it more than the sun will come up tomorrow. You talk that GaryVee shit, you don't live that GaryVee shit. And where you don't live it is not on the hustle and grind. You don't live it on the kindness and humanity. We're at this crossroads where I genuinely believe that we can reframe the business world. I believe that business could be a remarkable engine of good. I really do. It's got the pieces in place. Inherently, it's built on merit. Inherently, it's built on merit. It's got so many of the ingredients. What it doesn't have is it doesn't have the full conversation being talked about. It's too me. It's too winner takes all. It's too all that. And listen, I love to compete. I love to win. I love all that shit. But it's more complex than that. And I want to get people into that framework.